I'll go look at you.
You're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast.
Hello out there, it is March 16th and you're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast. This evening we have a full and healthy roster, got that deep bench, that five-man crew. I'm here with Fred, Tyrell, Mitch, and Josh. We're all back together for the first time in at least 2 weeks, guys, I think.
2 weeks.
Yeah, so feels good. Everyone's back and ready to roll. As always, check us out on Spotify. Make sure you follow us there. Helps us out a ton. Go to YouTube and subscribe because, my God, the amount of content we're putting on YouTube these days and the amount of content to come is crazy. We got Mitch dropping another Crack That Pack probably sometime tomorrow. I dropped another Top Shot pack, Crack That Pack, just this past week, and there is more to come on that little franchise.
Packs to crack.
So subscribe to that YouTube page. Well worth it. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Kevin's Budget Card Breaks on YouTube. He's commented on our videos before, and I took part of one of his NBA card breaks on Sunday. He's fantastic dude to work with. He threw in a couple extra Blue Jays cards for me from one of his baseball breaks. Really cool dude. Just wanted to give him a shout out, and he's doing great stuff on his channel. So had to get that in there as well.
Buddy.
We got a nice few topics to talk about this week, as usual, but we're actually going to start the week just to address it out of the way. There's been a couple of tragedies in the sports world this week. One on the NHL front, if Mitch, you want to bring us into that one. Or sorry, not NHL front, in the hockey front.
Yeah, so it'd be the KHL front, I guess, would be the right way to put it. So, unfortunately, a player with I don't want to butcher his name because I feel it feels so disrespectful to do, but I know I'm going to butcher his name. And if anyone knows how to say his name right off the bat,
you can just say Timur
Bezudinov.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it, Josh.
Right.
I think that sounds about right. Probably it's better than I'm going to say it. But essentially, he took a puck in the face, and I mean, there's a video of it and everything. I mean, definitely, I don't want to put light of the incident or shove it off, but I mean, we've definitely seen a lot worse. And he went down. And it looked rough. It looked bad, and he was stretchered off. But he went to his body started shutting down. A lot of, was it a brain bleed or a brain hemorrhage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as everything got shut down, and he sadly passed away today. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's really sad. He's only 19 years old.
Yeah.
And captain of the team as well. So I mean, someone had a bright future, and it's just a simple play. And I mean, we see guys get hit in the face with the puck all the time. It wasn't even a real shot. I think it was more of just a dump.
It was a chip in. It was a chip, yeah.
That kind of cranked him. It was a bit of a wrister, and it caught him clean in the face, but he's wearing a helmet, and it dropped him. I mean, and it didn't drop him immediately. Like, it didn't knock him out cold. He just, you could tell it hurt him, and he was in pain, and then he eventually kind of collapsed. But I don't know, man. It's sad to see. Very unfortunate circumstance.
I never saw the video, but was he wearing a cage, or was this like he was like no visor?
Helmet visor,
just like in the face, like
helmet and visor. It just hit him in the face.
It's the way that it looked too is it looked like it caught him like in the close to the temple.
Yeah, I think that is where it caught him.
Temple. But it's literally the definition of a freak accident, man. Like it's. Like, you play sports with the assumption, like I was thinking about this earlier, like you play sports with the assumption, like there's like really good possibility you could get hurt, right? There's injuries in sports all the time, but you never think like the sport's never designed for like, a complete tragedy like that. Like it's really weird. Like Mitch was saying, like it was like a soft chip, and it was just the way that it hit him. Like it didn't have much velocity. You can see the puck the whole way. Like it was like it was a projectile, like it was a lob, right? And it just where it caught him, and he just went right down. Like it was just like right in the specific spot, and he just like buckled right away.
It wasn't a shot on. It wasn't a shot on net because buddy that took it was literally right in front of the benches. So I mean,
yeah, like he was
like
center ice.
Yeah, so
it was like a chip and chase. Like he was going to dump it in and chase it.
Yeah, and I don't know. It just
man, he must feel so horrible for that
too, man. Being that person, but I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't take.
No,
I know it's easier said than done when you're not behind it, but you can't take any blame or fault for that. But it just blows my mind. Like I remember back in the day, Ian LePerrier blocking a slap shot with his face, and he gets off, and he gets off in his own, like he's bloodied and messed up and everything. But like he gets off, and I'm like, it's just crazy how like I don't know.
Yeah, it's the blindside ones or the ones that you're not ready for that do the most damage, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like like the Ian LePerrier, like he's expecting it.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy wasn't. He didn't even think it was going to hit him at all, right?
That's right.
He was probably already half turned around to chase it.
Who was it that took a slap shot? Like they put their head down and ended up cutting them somehow, even with their.
But
helmet
it got him on
on
the top of the helmet, right?
Yeah, and then he was bleeding everywhere. Like imagine the velocity of that.
So, yeah, that puts it into perspective, right? Because once it comes down to it, sure, there's baseballs, and then way on the other end of the spectrum is basketballs, footballs, soccer balls, but a hockey puck is a piece of compressed rubber. It's a rock. It's frozen, and you can't really understate when that thing hits you. It hurts. There's a reason why the guys on the ice wear that much gear. And it's just the unfortunate risk that you take, which opens up the argument one of you guys wanted to bring up about, like, should a cage be mandatory? Like, should a full visor always be mandatory? Like, those are conversations that are going to start, but I don't think they'll get much. I don't really think they'll get too far. I just don't have faith in it getting very far.
I'm sure it's been brought up 101 different times too. Like,
I mean, the kids. College hockey. It's the cages are mandatory, but I mean, you see every kid's too. Like pretty much anyone that has to wear a cage ditches it as soon as they possibly can. I mean, a big thing a lot of players hate it. It impedes their visibility. A puck in your feet, trying to find it in your feet is
I can see that.
Yourself. And then
that's been a big talking point, like even the last couple of days because Jake Muzzin had the broken bone in his face. Yeah. So he's been playing with the full face mask, and you can notice it. And even him in interviews saying the same thing, like it's in your feet, it's out of your sight line, like it really affects how you play the game.
Couldn't you get something like not glass? That's horrible, but like not
there
black.
Is there is no there's a fish. It's a fishbowl essentially too. There is something as a fishbowl. Same thing though, I guess, and it does blur it a little bit, and it fogs up too if you're heavy breathing in it, and it gets warm as anything. That's a lot of guys too, man. A lot of guys find it extra breathing because it's literally like kind of. It's got holes in it and stuff, and the whole it's still like breathing your air in your face. It's still
fogs.
Andy Reid going on.
So I mean, it's rough, but I don't know, man. I mean, it's definitely I think it's this conversation that'll pick up steam more and more, especially with more incidents. I mean, you see headshots to start to be a bit more of a common thing now. It's being cracked down on, pucks to the face, things like that, sticks to the face. I mean, it's like incidents like this that will progress the conversation, but I mean, hockey in its own way is still a very old school sport, and cages aren't very tough.
That's one thing that makes hockey unique in the way that they preserve tradition, because in the way that baseball preserves tradition, its heritage aspects it's bullshit for the most part, right? Like friggin' manual scoreboards where you change the numbers and shit like that. Like, you're changing the game. It's like now, shit like that. But with hockey, the stuff that you're preserving is violence, essentially.
That's true. Because the game has been moving into a more finesse and less violent direction, but there's still a big proponent of there's a big demographic of people that will always kind of fight for the traditional, like, don't get rid of all fighting in hockey. Don't remove the physical aspect of the game.
And it always
they've had the history too of grandfathering things in. Hockey's been doing that a lot, for years, right? They grandfathered helmets in,
right?
They grandfathered visors in. So you can kind of see it moving in that direction. They might grandfather like the full cage.
I'll say, Tyrell, it makes me laugh because like it's a similar thing. 90s basketball players are the worst for it. They'd like to think that they're just as violent as everyone else, just as tough and, just as hard hat as everyone else. It's like, no, dude, you got like hand checked once or twice.
the bad boy Pistons. Fuck.
You got pushed. I mean, like, sure, you get injuries from like roughhousing, and there's probably more.
I twisted my ankle.
And then you see like videos from like 80s hockey, and someone literally two-hand slashes someone in the face with a hockey stick.
I had to watch that. Oh
no, go ahead, Taro.
I had to watch that video like 3 times, and I was like, tragedy? Like, what tragedy? Like, what did I just watch? And then Alex filled me in after, and I was like, Jesus, man. Like, yeah, he literally just kind of like just flicked it to dump it in, and it must have hit him like around his like orbital like area here, because like right here, you can take a hit, but like if it hits you around the eye and like right to the temple area, that's gonna do some damage, and unfortunately just
cave it in.
Did the bit too much. Like you said, it's just a frozen rock coming at you, even at that velocity.
Yeah, it's just such a shame because like the kid was 19 years old. I have no idea of the caliber of the team he was on. But like, dude, could have been. I mean, that's the age people get into the NHL. Talented squads get into the NHL around that age. And the World Juniors is the place to perform before you get there. So it's a big tragedy, gotta say.
Yeah.
And we'll quickly touch on one more tragedy that happened in the world of combat sports today. Marvelous Marvin Hagler has passed away at the age of 66. Correct me if I got that wrong, but I think that's right. Yeah.
All Hagler, man.
He'll be remembered for being in that terrifying 80s middleweight division.
So good.
For those who aren't so familiar with the 80s middleweights in boxing, I'm sure the name Sugar Ray Leonard might ring a bell to some.
Ooh.
Or Roberto Duran, but those guys they all fought each other. It was incredible times. He's talking about violence. Good Lord.
That was a wicked class.
If you watch Hagler Hearns, that's the biggest demonstration of violence you can ever show someone. Like,
they just slug each other, man.
It's like even as a boxing fan, you sit back and be like, dude, these guys are doing this for a living and they're doing it to entertain us.
Defense goes out the window. All offense.
Yeah, it is. It's just hit.
Yep. And it's crazy. And like the best part about that era, and Hagler was like he defined it. He was willing to face, if there was a better person or the public perceived a better fighter than him, he was like, no, I'll prove you wrong. I'm gonna fight him right now. Next, give it to me as fast as I can get him. So, he'll be remembered. Go ahead.
Just to reminisce a little bit. Correct me here. I don't know if you'll know this. I'm pretty sure you will, Alex. But like the first knockdown for Hagler too, did it come against Duran?
The very first, his
first ever, because there's a really famous interview after. That's excellent. And it was like, they said, like, this is your first knockout. And he just kind of snarls at the reporter and just says, I slipped.
I don't know that like for sure. But at him, like, you know what? It doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Yeah.
Especially with a guy like Roberto Duran. Was a complete bull in the ring.
I can't remember if it was, a Duran or like.
So he defeated Roberto Duran. He defeated Marvin Hagler. Sorry. He defeated Tommy Hearns. That is the biggest war ever. Go watch that fight if you have, because that fight's not very long. I think it's like 8 minutes.
No.
Only a couple rounds. It's vicious. It's incredible. It's one of those things that actually makes you fall in love with boxing. And he also fought Sugar Ray Leonard twice. He won against all of those guys. So put that into perspective. He won against all of those top fighters who will all be in the Hall of Fame, who are all in the Hall of Fame. And yeah, he's gonna be missed. He's a great fighter.
Alex, what was the professional record? You know, offhand?
2 or 3 losses and 60-ish wins. Let me take a look here now.
I know it was something impressive.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler. 62 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws.
Nice.
Yeah. They wouldn't let him put the marvelous on the poster.
Right.
So he legally changed his name from Marvin to Marvelous.
Yep.
Oh, I
And
love
that's
So
true.
it's like you have to put it on there now.
That's a true
Badass.
story. His name is
Yeah.
Marvelous.
it.
Man, that's
Marvelous.
wicked.
You can still call him Marv though, which is great. So
Yeah.
Yeah, works.
so we'll pivot away from the reminiscing and the tributes for a little bit. Does anyone else have anything that they want to just bring up right away as a next subject?
Ooh.
There's stuff out there. There's stuff out there going on. I'll bring up one right now.
Well,
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I was just gonna say in passing, I know it's in these later years of his career, we're on the Ovechkin watch.
Yep.
To see how far up the rankings he can get, and I think he just passed Phil Esposito.
You
I
got a
don't
chip
know what
now,
the-
which is nice. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the full goal total is and what Esposito's rank was. Was it 6th?
So right now they're tied for 7th, but he's gonna pass him.
He's gonna pass him.
I think he's at 706, 7, somewhere around there.
It rots me how many times Ovi's season has been interrupted due to like various stoppages and stuff like that.
717, sorry, 717.
Exactly, Mitch. I
Where he
agree.
could be.
He could easily have another 50 more goals already
easily,
on his total.
at least.
Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, I can't. Yeah, like, it's insane. Like, and I was pretty like optimistic too. Like thinking about like he can get there. Like I think he's gonna get to number 2. You thought you were hoping that he can challenge Gretzky, but even like looking at his pace this year, I'm getting less optimistic.
I still think he can pull it off. Okay, look at it this way. Like
he doesn't think he can though. He even said himself he said he'd have to be pretty much propped up playing to be able to try and break Gretzky's record. So I don't even think he physically thinks his body can maintain the pace to stay there.
But like it's crazy. He's only really played 1,176 games.
Only.
Like that's nuts.
I know,
but look, you look at like say like I don't know, like even Gretzky had like 1,400. That's what another 2 or 3 seasons. I know
more.
It's
more,
tough. Like right, and then you got like Howe who played and Yager who played 1,700 games.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he's clearly going to surpass.
They can still be done, and he's been pretty healthy in his career.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Ovi. He's been pretty healthy, but the only thing is you got to consider the style of play he does. He's played more physically than any of those guys. Any of those guys combined, really, to be honest with you, man. He's a bull. And no matter how tough you are, that style of hockey catches up on you eventually.
And let's just acknowledge right away, just super quick, that Alexander Ovechkin is a prime representative of the Jersey Tuck.
Oh, yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, he is.
He was tucking his jersey like crazy before anyone.
Oh, man.
Well, more than anyone.
Oh, man, he was the style, man. The jersey tuck, the tinted visor, the color laces, tongues out. Yeah. He was hockey swag.
Yeah. Especially swagging when he won that championship, gotta say.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, man.
He's
just gotta change his play. That's all. Change his play up for next couple of years. Just plant yourself right next to the net and just.
There you go. Tap ins and on the dots,
face-off
right?
circle. Don't even move from the face-off circle.
Yeah. Just pass it right here.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
All right. Before we get too far into the podcast, we're going to bring back our brand new segment.
That stat is steamy. The steamy stat.
This is the Jersey Tuck steamy stat.
Love it.
I love that lead-in intro.
I like
Strat.
One of my favorite parts of it is just the end. A steamy stat. He's clarifying it.
Alex, when you're teeing that up, I literally thought you were going to start reading an ad, and I was like, oh, we got sponsors?
Oh, hey, one day. We'll get there soon enough. Hey, we're well on our way.
We're shooting up there fast.
We are well on our way.
Google call us up. They're like, hey, see, you got 10 subs there.
Yeah.
Can you advertise these boner pills?
Yeah. What is it? I'm trying to think of the Roman. Are you actually referencing something, Mitch? Because No Dunks has erectile.
Is that the swipes, or
no,
the wipes or whatever.
It's erectile dysfunction treatment.
Oh, okay, no, because Spit and Chicklets always do it's like Roman swipes or something.
Man wipes.
Yeah, and it's for like helping you last longer, pretty much. I think it just makes your junk go.
Oh, what? You say a wipe does that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a wipe, and it's just like I guess you just wipe it on, and it just I'm pretty sure it just makes your junk go numb, so you can last longer.
That's so strange. Make it numb. That sounds dangerous.
That's some shit I see coming in the ER sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. You were using those Roman.
The last thing I knew, I was rubbing a cloth on my junk. Just wanted to have more fun.
I used 5. I really wanted to go a while.
You stuck it where?
Oh god.
So the steamy stat.
Sponsor us, by the way.
Yeah, sponsor us. Roman, hey, throw us a sponsor. We'll get you good ad reads, promise.
I'll try it out for you.
There you go. Willing participants right here.
I'll give a product review.
Please just transcribe this pod perfectly so Google can hear us. We'll be all right. So here's the steamy stat. Listen to this, boys. You guys know that the triple double is like the in thing in the NBA right now. It's a stat chasing. It's a sexy thing that players, they're very conscious about when they're approaching it, and they'll go get garbage rebounds for it. You'll get guards just jumping over other guards for rebounds. Westbrook. Stuff like that. So, but there's one guy, when he gets a triple double, it makes a difference, and this is why. Because the steamy stat this week, the Warriors are 25-1 when Draymond Green has a triple double. Check that out.
This season.
So,
and why is that, Alex?
Is that his? I guess that's all of his triple doubles.
That must be. I was saying Draymond not putting up that many triple doubles in a season.
So that's like Westbrook kind of stats there.
Yeah.
So every time he gets a triple double, it means he's putting in the effort on categories that matter to get them where they want to be. And he's always been one of those guys that gets that shows intangibles when he plays. Anyways, he's not everyone's favorite player because he's a bit of an arsehole. But we brought him up on the pod in episode 2 or 3, like where he has some good points speaking outside the NBA and stuff. So my respect for him is growing. What are your? I want to know your thoughts on that specific stat, Taro.
Steph's hitting his threes.
I was gonna say, like, I think it also speaks to the fact that if he's putting like in those points too. Sorry, Tyrell. If he's getting those points too, like you also are on a team with Clay and Steph. Like they're obviously putting up points as well. So.
I want to see how many. I want to see out of those 25-1. I want to see how many 3-pointers Steph and Clay hit compared to like any other game.
And how many of those he assisted on. Because if that's part of it, you know what? He deserves some credit. We'll give him some credit. He's like I brought up the term Swiss Army knife. People always say that about Draymond. So obviously it helps 1,000,000,000% to have the best shooter that ever lived on your team. And he's cooking right now, man. He's back. Steph Curry is back, and it's good to see. It's like I'm a Rockets fan, so Warriors have been a rival for a little over half a decade ish, like a heavy rival, anyways. So I've had my fair share of nights where I'm incredibly frustrated and ready to stop watching basketball because of those Golden State Warriors. But I'm gaining respect. I've always had respect for Curry, but I'm gaining respect for Draymond Green. Klay Thompson still annoys me a little bit.
Just to further that, Draymond is what essentially you really need a championship team to go all the way. He's what in the NHL you call it a utility, a core guy or utility player, the guy that does the dirty stuff, gets down in the trenches, and gets the hard work done and helps the superstars kind of stay clean and get there. You'll see a lot of times.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, you'll see a lot of times the coaches, you'll see in let's say the NHL pair up their top line with a gritty player just because they help clear the lanes for them, or they help get the dirty work done. And that's what Draymond does, is a utility player that makes his stars like Steph and Clay their lives easier.
And one
Good
thing
Dennis
I
Rodman,
admire completely is they're a young fella, the 3rd overall draft pick. What's his name again? Anthony Edwards? Is that right, Tyrell?
Golden State now, James Wiseman.
James Wiseman. Anthony Edwards is number 1. But yeah, he's a 7-footer. He's a center, I think. And you always see Draymond after, even if it's a good defensive play, Draymond's always going over, like just whispering in his ear, like tips. And he said he's after saying he's been such a massive influence, like on my defensive game, like just knowing where to be and all these different, just reading plays and stuff like that. So I don't deny that man's basketball intelligence for sure.
Yeah, he's like the superstar of glue guys.
Yeah,
really. You know, like you got glue guys across the NBA, but Draymond Green is like the glue guy.
He is.
You know, that like Mitch was saying, everyone wants on a championship
Mm-hmm.
team.
Yeah, there's no one that really compares. I mean, you think about dudes that give a veteran presence, who give numbers, who will be a vocal leader. Like, he checks all the categories in terms of being that glue guy. So
I think that.
So go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, go ahead, Darrell.
Just thinking back for Houston, he never compared for Draymond's numbers, but Trevor Ariza was like our glue guy for like 4 seasons, and he was like not great at any aspect, but just all around, always consistent. It was great.
He was
great
an
to see
asset
guys
for
like
sure.
that.
I think he was great in the locker room, just building chemistry. Both on and off of game time. I think he was really good at that, and obviously Draymond is as well. Yeah, that's.
I think that's I was gonna say, like, I think that transcends across sport. It's something that you see like a lot of teams do. It's like that missing final piece.
Right.
Like the Justin Williams. Like
like the clutch player.
On your team, you win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And I just want.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say about Draymond too. One thing I've kind of noticed more in the last couple of years too, like he's obviously a hated player on the floor, like, but he annoys the crap out of guys, and like you can tell guys just want to clock him in the head. But outside of the game, everybody likes him, man. You can tell all the players gel with him, love going up and talking, the conversation with all his opponents who would be on the floor playing against him, playing hard, him giving him a hard time. You can see them having a laugh with him outside. So I think that just shows that like Draymond is just he's a good guy. He's just a hard working player, right? And he knows what he has to do to be effective, and that's sometimes be an arsehole.
Bouncing off that, do you guys remember I can't remember if it was like 2017. Remember the season where Draymond got like 6 technicals for kicking people in the nuts?
Yes.
And like four of them were Steven Adams.
And it's funny because the interviews with Steven Adams are so funny because like he received his reaction to it is hilarious, but the toughest guy in the NBA award, and like his reaction to that says it all. They told him that he was like, "What is that, mate? What does that even mean?" Like he doesn't give a shit, and it's like I can just picture him now. It's like, keep kicking me in the balls, mate.
I forgot about that. He had that master. He'd go up and his leg would just flare out.
Yes, and he was like. He was like, "Bro, that's just my shot." And he would like defend it tooth and nail, but he'd obviously like kick his leg out after every rebound. He wasn't even shooting sometimes. You get a rebound, he'd kick his leg out.
Yeah.
And Steven Adams would be like, not even playing OKC. Steven Adams somehow get hit. Like,
that's so funny. I do remember it happening against Steven Adams. Wasn't there actually a time too? I think it might have been part of that suspension where he rose up from the ground. It might have been LeBron, and it was like a ball shot. Like he was getting up and like undercut someone in the nuts.
It was LeBron. I'm pretty sure it was LeBron.
And that was the season where I think he was out of a playoff game because of accumulation of techs.
Wow.
That usually doesn't happen to very many people. I think it happened to Boogie Cousins and very few people. Yeah, he got booted for accumulation of techs.
Still, to this day, my favorite Draymond Green moment is not even on the court. It's just when he's spaced out during the interview.
Yeah. Oh my god. We gotta post that on our Twitter afterwards.
Please do. Just where he's spaced out and he's just like staring into the void of nothingness, like while he's getting asked a question. Like
I might.
It's one of the teammates is answering it and he's just like,
Is that one of those ones where like "Hello darkness, my old friend"?
I'll crop that in the video pod and post for sure. That video is fantastic.
But it's been a heck of a ride, to be honest. I really can't complain. I was kind of I was a little down when I found out I was injured and I had to have surgery again, or with another knee. But at the end of the day, I have amazing teammates. Guys like Draymond, everybody on this team, they
anyone else have a steamy stat? But before I go on, gotta mention that last triple-double registered was against the Jazz. They beat the Jazz pretty bad. And, like, the Dubs are, like, what? Like, on the outside looking in of the Western Conference right now. And Jazz are the top team in the NBA, literally the best team in the NBA right now, record-wise. And I think they have the easiest schedule going forward. And, yeah, Dubs stomped them. So, yeah. There you go. Anyone got any other steamy stats?
Mine's just a quick one. Before we came on, we were just trashing the Buffalo Sabres on how much of a shit show they are right now.
Yeah.
So this is the steamy stat is for their 6 wins, a lowly 6 wins they have this season.
My God.
They have also been shut out 6 times.
Oh my God.
So they've been shut out 6 times and only won 6 games. So when your shutouts against, it matches your wins total.
Oh man,
You're in deep doo doo.
What's their losses total?
Yeah, what's their total record?
Let's check it out.
20.
Like how many games
They've
have been played
lost
so far in
19
the
or 20
NHL?
games. Almost 30, about 30
They
games.
are 6, 17, and 4.
Shit, they should pick me up. I can't even skate.
They're currently playing the Devils, who are struggling this year. They're down 1-0, despite having 14 shots on goal, and Jersey only having 7 shots on goal. So they're
God.
There you go.
tire fire.
They are horrible.
It's tied now, Mitch.
Oh, was it? Just
Tied,
updated
yeah.
it. Okay.
They're in it.
They're in it.
They
Season
just scored.
saved.
Yeah.
One let's pivot to a sport we haven't talked about very much at all on the pod yet. We're going to the Diamond. Baseball's back super soon, beginning of April, I think. I think the Blue Jays play their game April 1st. April Fools. But yeah, I think they actually do.
I think they're playing a preseason game today.
Yeah, they've been playing preseason. Apparently it's been
They've been doing pretty good in the preseason.
Did you see their new facility?
No. In Dunedin?
Oh my. They got a new facility, like training facility. Holy crap.
In Florida?
Yeah.
In Dunedin. Yeah, they always train in Dunedin, right?
They legit got like an in-place barber shop and everything.
Oh wow,
like,
didn't know they had a new one.
It's intense, man.
They're playing there this year though, so.
Yeah, if you can do like a YouTube tour of it, man, it's look it up. It's insane. Wow. Like it's like a baseball player's dream. It's like a heaven for baseball players.
I'll have to check that out.
I'm definitely checking it out. I'm excited for the team this year. They did good things last year for a young squad. But anyways, I brought him up today to say they are to face the Rangers in front of a full capacity. That's right, full capacity crowd in Arlington, Texas. That's a little bit after the season begins. I think it might be the Texans' first matchup, but assumed to be the very first North American sporting event at full capacity. Someone jump in with their thoughts right now.
Fucking Texas.
Yeah, Texas. That's it.
And
I don't know, man. That's pretty.
America.
Wait.
Yeah, America.
I'm pretty
it's
sure
a lot of. It's short term right now, man.
They're saying everyone should be close to all vaccinated by the end of May for the states, right?
Actually, yeah, that doesn't really surprise me then.
So
because they're fast.
I know. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like, I don't understand. Why can't you wait a month?
Like maybe everyone that's attending is vaccinated.
No, there's no way.
No.
Oh, you're gonna do tests? Everybody test everybody.
They're just giving up. They don't care. It's all money now. They've done the herd immunity, so they're saying shag it, and vaccines right around the corner. It's in their grasp. They don't care.
Wasn't the Super Bowl? Wasn't all the attendance, if not most of it, in the Super Bowl, all first responders, nurses, frontline workers? I think like everyone that was vaccinated. I think.
I think they might
There
have been
was a-
priority.
Yeah, I think a large majority, or like a lot of people were.
Mm.
Yeah, but I don't know. Texas don't care.
UFC are doing the same thing in April. They got an event in Florida, and they're doing a full crowd.
Come on, man.
It's too funny. I feel like we've shirked Florida like at least a few times on this pod.
Yeah.
It's Florida
Texas
and Texas.
and Florida every time.
That's it. It's the same story, right? Every time.
Well, they don't even believe in any pandemic anyway, and they were like they had that winter storm that knocked them out for a bit. They're like,
shout out to Alberta.
we love state of emergency, so we're just gonna keep going with that.
Yeah.
See what
it's
happens.
just something that we do for fun,
That's for kicks.
Yep.
See what the good Lord throws at us next. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Hey, if anything, no, you know what? See, this is the same thing about the All-Star game. I'm pumped about the All-Star game every year because it's stupid, and like regardless, I'll just be pumped for it because it's a bunch of foolishness all in one weekend. But with this going ahead, it's just like it's a debut of a regular season or like just a game. And full capacity crowd, and it's different because like sure it'll be fun to hear genuine crowd noise, and that they'll be loud as hell because it's like first game back and all that kind of stuff. So yes, it'll be very refreshing, I gotta say, to hear that and watch it on a broadcast. But there's always going to be something in the back of your head saying, "Man, that's stupid."
Yeah, exactly.
Whole team's gonna get COVID in one shot, like.
That was the risk with the All-Star game, man.
Shut it all down.
Again.
Shut the entire season down because of that one thing,
I don't know. This might be like not well thought out on my part, but like the NBA makes so much more money than they make more money than the MLB, don't they? Like,
I would think so now, but
yeah.
Yeah, because like the contracts for NBA players are just exorbitant now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also has to do with the fact though too that like there's more to go. There's like it's the same amount of money, but it's going in less directions.
Less players. But I mean, like I don't know. The NBA just seems like such a pioneer compared to every other major sports league.
That's why everyone was so surprised when they did the All-Star game, right?
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, they did that, but staying safe. Like the bubble was such like. A gold standard, and even now there's no plans to bring in, like they got like a little bit of capacity from state to state, but
you have like them letting games like this happen, and then at the same time you have like a team like the Raptors, which they're and I'm just kind of segueing a little bit, but their season is kind of going down the drain right now because they're in complete health protocol.
Yeah.
Because half of the stars, or pretty much all the stars, have COVID. And I think it just came out now that Van Vliet now tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh, really? No, wait, no,
so
he's on my fantasy. Yeah, he's Or was he?
So
injured?
Van Vliet.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, now they're saying he I think it literally just came out.
That's not good, man.
Brutal.
But just to kind of, just like Tyrell said, it's such a Texas thing. On top of it, such a baseball thing. I mean, baseball, is such a a classic American, heritage, old school sport. I mean, like the last, if anyone's gonna be the first to do it, it's going to be baseball. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a matter of time. I think they're at the point now, I think, where they could see the finish line with the vaccines, and they're just after taking so much of a hit, and then it's after spreading and just going throughout so much now with like a herd immunity, I guess you can call it. It's just at a point now where they just said, frig it, we can't take it anymore. We're done. We can see the finish line, and whatever happens, happens. I mean, look at the beginning of their season last year. Like, it was this close. Like, it was a hairs away from completely imploding on them because it was just so unorganized.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun. We're all going to tune in. All right, well, a lot of us are going to tune in
I'm
intrigued. At least hear the crowd, and they're like, yeah this feels dirty. Let's turn this off.
I just want to hear people. Yeah. Ew, I feel gross.
Imagine how drunk everyone's going to be at that game. I bet it's going to be a sloppy mess.
That's the thing, though. People are going to get loaded and stuff like that, and then they're going to
people be throwing cups, hitting each other, throwing cups at each other.
Throwing clubs. That's a classic Blue Jays move.
Yeah, sharing cups.
Throwing cans at babies. Classic Blue Jays.
Oh, man.
Shocking by.
Do you remember that? It's 2016 ultra hype Blue Jays season, and a nationally televised game in the States. And there was some guy, some drunk idiot in the Rogers Center who pelted his tallboy can and it hit a baby. And it's like, really? This is how we're gonna re-enter the baseball conscience by throwing cans at babies? Like,
did he yell Kobe?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Bullseye.
I remember, yeah, I think he got arrested, I would assume so.
I think so.
But yeah, the
Can't be hitting
Raptors...
babies
No, go ahead, Fred.
I was gonna say you can't be hitting babies with cans.
You can't be doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Can't be doing that.
use the plastic cup, for God's sakes. He
Yeah,
said
Cody, this is
Yeah, it's a simple solution.
Yeah, throw the plastic cup at the baby, not the.
I'm just picturing Mrs. throwing her baby at Cody. Oh, okay.
Knee-jerk reaction, like someone throws something at you, you throw something back. It's like throw something, you just throw baby.
Oh, what up, you?
Yeah. Jesus, that happened so fast. It happened so fast.
Take this heater.
Check out my change up.
Change up.
Man.
Oh,
Change up this diaper, bitch.
God. Oh.
But yeah, quickly, just to touch on the Raptors, which Josh mentioned for a second. Not doing great right now. It's so unfortunate with the COVID situation they got going on. It reminds me very much of the early season with the Heat, struggling with COVID. I can't really say for sure the superstars that are out. Some of you guys might know more than me. I know Siakam's out.
Siakam's out.
Anunoby?
OG, yeah.
Just say OG.
Kenobi?
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Van Fleet now. So
Siakam and Van Fleet, yeah.
Rough times in Raps line. But they'll bounce back. They got a solid team. Just need to get everyone healthy again. And we'll see where they go.
Is Lowry out too or no? He's been playing because I think he's been playing.
I think he might be playing.
Yeah,
I think he's playing.
Give us aggressive tweets if we're wrong. Always.
I think he's just having a bit of rough go more than anything. He's a bit quiet. You don't see much from him.
So since we're on the topic of the Raps, what are the Raps going to have to do, say, in the coming years to become a contender again? Because they're not a
superstar.
Right.
Here's an
superstar
deconstruction.
If you pay attention to the pulse in Toronto about how they feel about the Raptors right now, I feel like there's a bit of an underlying anxiety because I can't remember. Bobby Webster's got his contract. You know what I mean? Nick Nurse has got his contract, but it's always hanging over their head that Masai hasn't signed yet or hasn't planned out a new deal, and his is up now.
Right.
It's coming up. And you're wondering, you're like, man, what happens? Because if Masai leaves now, then it's just he built the team before, and then it's pretty much in ruin as it is right now. They're kind of on their way.
Well, if you look at it in simplistic terms, Lowry's gone. He's not part of their future anymore. Just pay that guy somewhere nice, move him somewhere he wants to be for a little bit, then bring him back for the 10-day contract that he wants to be on. I honestly, who knows what Siakam will turn into? He's been up and down a little bit this year, which is a bit concerning. But if you have Siakam and Van Vliet, I think you just need one more piece. That's probably your number one option over those guys, and that'll be a good team. So Siakam, anywhere else, So anyone else, I think, is the movable piece.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Siakam is definitely a number 2 or number 3 option.
For sure.
Yeah.
Behind, we go back to Kawhi, but Siakam was amazing while Kawhi was garnering all the attention.
Yeah,
exactly.
And imagine if Van Fleet, Van Fleet was good with Kawhi, but imagine if he had today's Van Fleet with someone like Kawhi's caliber, with Siakam doing his little spins, getting the 16 and 10 a day or a game.
Yeah, nice little solid doubles. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a player that's so hard for me to gauge his potential. I just don't know. I don't know where to put him in terms of potential.
It's very hot and cold.
I know that Van Vliet has exceeded my expectations by a mile. When they gave him that big contract, I was like, whew, overpaid.
But he's getting better every year.
But
every
he's
year
a crazy scorer, man. He's incredible.
So, he's a dog on defense. Like
yeah, and he's a smaller fellow too. So I always love that. I always love that. I wouldn't push the panic button yet on the Raptors. I would attribute a lot of their struggle this year just to circumstance. So
COVID and whatnot right now.
Right. COVID, and I just think and just like a couple of really just close losses early on, which fucked up their rhythm a little bit, but they're fine for now. I think, like I said, I don't think there's any reason.
The start of the season didn't help them either because they had a really poor,
really rough start.
Yeah,
I just got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Charles. But it's right.
I was wondering what's the longest losing streak in NBA history?
Is it 20 games? Going with this?
Is it 20 games? Because I thought I read that the other day, and I'm like, we're going to be 3 games away from that if we don't beat Atlanta tonight for Houston.
Let's take a look.
You think you're in the top 10?
The 84-86 New York Knicks with 20.
Oh God.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So we're close.
So where do they rank right now?
They're 16. They have 16 game losing streak.
I see 4 here, and it's 20, 20, 20, and 19. So let's,
there's 3 here that have 20 for their losing streaks: Knicks, Mavericks, and Clippers.
It's quite a bit. We're quite a bit down there as of the 16 mark. There's a lot of players that are say like 17, or a lot of teams that are 17 and up. You know what? Never ever
next?
Be proud.
Atlanta tonight, I think.
Uh-huh.
Atlanta's one of those teams that
you're like, oh.
Atlanta's one of those teams that you could. Hey, if like any team could beat that team on a given night, but like you look at the Rockets and I was like, can we beat anyone?
Honestly, Rockets are my favorite team. I can name one player who's active right now, maybe.
KPJ.
Nice.
Yeah. Oladipo, maybe. I don't know.
Is it the G League Rockets?
Yeah, it's the what is it? We found out the Vipers. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We're just it's the Vipers and no, they got KPJ was on the Vipers, so just the Vipers.
You guys have your first round pick, right?
Not this year.
No.
Who has it?
No, we have a protected first, so we need to get in the top 4, and we get one from OKC, I think. Or if it's 5 or above, we lose it. So.
I don't know who has ours this year.
So honestly, I think we should just
bomb.
Christian Wood, come back and give us some nice points so we can be happy. And,
not too many though.
Yeah,
not too many.
keep it appropriate.
I think the NBA trade deadline is going to be spicy.
You know what?
Like Lowry and the Raptors going to be sellers or
Pull a Bradley Beal and do crazy numbers and have your team be garbage. Do that.
Yeah.
However, the Wizards aren't too bad lately, but yeah, do that. I'm cool with that. But don't injure those ankles. I noticed that when he came back, there's pictures of him back in training, and he's wearing the high tops, and everyone's like, "Yeah, good man."
His ankles kind of look like that that painting you were talking about, Josh, for the show.
Salvador Dali.
He is a slim dude. He needs to put on a couple poundries. We have
calf raises.
We got a new segment this week, but not quite prepared with the stinger this week because anyways, we'll use this as an interim stinger. We'll wait for Josh though. Does Josh have headphones in right now? Josh is away from the camera for those listening to the audio pod.
I just wait to hear his pee stream.
We're all waiting on the piss stream. That'll be the next sound drop.
I bet you his AirPod died.
So essentially, we'll explain we'll explain the segment because he's aware. What we're going to call it tentatively, but probably finally, is Nasty or Nice. So, got a classic Santa's List kind of segment going on here now. We'll bring this back in like different things that come up. So one great example is when we the earned jerseys that we ranked. That could have been a nasty and nice segment.
Stop calling them earned jerseys. The dumbest thing ever.
not
Yo,
earned.
it's earned. They got
They're
to the
not
bubble.
earned.
I hate it so much.
That Philadelphia one was not earned.
No, that
was punishment.
For those who haven't seen Philadelphia earned jersey for 2021 season, that's the grossest jersey I've ever seen in my life. But
was a 76,
pretty bad.
76 on top of a Hershey's Kiss.
yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
Pretty much.
nasty or nice, we will look at things, and I mean it's pretty self-explanatory. We will say whether we believe it's nasty or nice, or we will examine a broad range of emblems. In this case, what we're doing is the NHL, and we will say which is the nastiest or the nicest of that particular league. So, you know what? We don't have a sound drop, so let's just drop this.
Oh, he did it. He brought it in.
Perfect.
It's time for
brought it in.
nasty and nice.
Officially, like,
Like old days.
now that it started, that's gonna be it. Like, yeah, that's gonna be it for everyone on Nasty Nices now.
Yeah, well, it has to be part of the segment now. So, what we'll do this week,
Yeah.
we are looking at all of the emblems in the National Hockey League. This could be past or present. There's some, there's some logos that have been around for quite some time.
Ooh.
And those logos have people very polarized. It could be something that looks like trash for the longest period of time, or something that looks amazing and should never be changed. So, I'm going to start with you, Fred. What is nasty? What emblem is nasty in the NHL?
Well, there's a few for sure, but I'm gonna go.
What is the nasty?
Oh my god, it's tough.
Don't you say it.
No, okay. I know what you're thinking I'm gonna say, but I think.
Oh, it's not that. Can't be.
Okay, yeah. So I know what you think I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna go another direction. Okay, and I want them to bring back their other jersey. Okay, so a jersey that I absolutely hate is the New York Islanders jersey. I hate the Islanders jersey. It is so boring with the NY and the show little whatever. I think they should bring back the actual sailor. You know what I'm talking about? Just like float, like sailing on the fucking Islanders logo.
So it's widely accepted that a lot of people hate that logo, but I love it too.
I do too.
I love that logo.
It's weirdly become a cult favorite. It's so weird. Like, it was hated at the time when it was out.
Yeah.
It was called like the what's the fish stick fisherman brand?
Yes.
Oh yes.
That's what it was referenced as. But now years have passed and everyone's calling for it to come back. Like, everyone was pissed that they didn't make those their retros this year.
Yeah.
They did the retro line for all the teams.
Yeah.
So if I gotta stick to it, like some of the jerseys, when I started going over, I'm like, oh, okay, I like this jersey, you know, blah blah blah. But then I went to the Islanders. I'm like, okay, this has been around a long time, and it's so boring. God, I'm just not a fan of it. Not a fan of it at all. So Josh, what do you think? What's going to be your nasty?
Ooh, I got some. So I want to just. I wasn't. I'm not. I can never chirp on any of the original 6 logos.
You can.
I find
if you
all
want.
of them are. No, I find all of them are great. Right?
Okay.
They're iconic. They have history.
That's fair. Yep.
I think we've talked about this one before, Fred. This is one of my favorites, though. I find it hilarious, and I don't know what the thought process was on this one.
Oh my god!
This is not my pick. This is not my pick because I actually have a second one that I want to call out.
So you're like me.
Yeah.
Just make sure you clarify who is the nasty.
Yeah.
It is a Montreal Canadiens one, but it's not what you think. No. There's literally a jersey that it looks like a candy cane.
Oh, the candy cane jerseys, yes.
It looks like a candy cane, and then there's a maple leaf, and in the middle of the maple leaf, it just fucking says "cack."
It says what?
Cack.
Cack? Oh my god, I see it. That is awful.
Okay, you know.
I'll have to see if I can. I'll have to see if I can bring it up on the podcast.
I know it's the Zach jersey you're talking about. Yeah.
That it looks like a thrift store sweater.
I got
that jersey.
I got that sweater.
You would, hipster.
So I just wanted to bring that up because I just find it funny, like it's hilarious. But in real terms of the worst jersey, is 100% the LA Kings Burger King jersey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's very friggin' bad.
Was it a legit sponsored Burger King jersey?
No, but like everyone calls it the Burger King because it has a picture of a shitty king on it. It's not even centered. It's just like these weird waves going through.
Oh my god.
That is the worst jersey.
Oh,
ever.
I see it. Oh my god.
Oh.
You're right.
Okay,
that
it's
is worse than the Islander jersey. You're
it's
totally
not the
right.
it's not the emblem that's bad. It's the jersey. Like
It's
what
everything.
the hell is that?
It's a terrible
the
jersey with the
multicolored
great,
swooshes.
yeah, the gradient. Like it's just
Oh.
like, what the hell are you doing, man?
So
Like,
for anyone listening on the audio pod, it's essentially a diagonal line that goes through the jersey, and there's the emblem on the left tit of Burger King Man, and the colors is what is that? What color is that?
Gray off
It's-
gray.
it's even best when you find a
Black.
picture of just Gretzky skating hard. Wearing the jersey.
That's actually the first. That's the first one that shows up for me, I think. And he's like smiling. He's like, this jersey.
He's like
shit.
going, he's like, yeah.
It's funny. Those
do.
jerseys are never ever referenced in anything for LA Kings history. Like if you ever go
That's funny.
like anything that's in a flashback or anything, the only way those jerseys are ever seen is when those jerseys are specifically being talked about how shitty they are.
Yeah. They're expunging them from existence.
Pretty much.
Mitch, what is your nasty? Actually, Josh, no. What is your true nasty? Because
That was the one.
Oh, that was the
So
one. Okay.
I just wanted
The
to
cack.
mention the Montreal.
Oh,
I just
right,
wanted to
right.
mention the Montreal Canadiens cack because I think it's pretty funny. But it's the Burger King.
Yeah,
It's the
that is
Burger
pretty
King
bad.
shirt.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad.
All right, Mitch. What is your nasty for the NHL emblems?
So for the emblems,
I think you're wearing it.
I knew that was gonna happen at some point.
There's the guy who's a fan of a team with a friggin' toilet seat as their logo.
Oh.
Changed it in like 80 years. Well, that's originality, bud.
Just say cack.
Cack.
Buddy has a cack in his jersey.
For current logos, my nasty, just because it kind of like just makes no sense. Like if you don't know what it is, it makes no sense. It's the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
It's just like a bunch
Yeah.
of circly swooshes, and like I know it's supposed to be an eye of a hurricane, but
Right.
I mean, how do you perceive and like descriptively, like artistically make a logo out of the eye of a hurricane? So
Right.
to me, it just doesn't
Yeah.
come across well at all. Like you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me
Also,
of?
like,
And it might
what other?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, what other tie does it have to Carolina too? Like, usually the jerseys have like more than just like the look meaning to it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, hey, this
Right.
is cool. Like they usually throw things in that are relative to the city or the state or whatever. But like it's just a circle.
Do they get a lot of hurricanes?
I mean, do they?
I don't know. I mean, they're a warmer state, like down south,
Yeah.
so probably,
Mm.
but I don't know.
It reminds me of, you said like, how does it capture something? Very similar to the Thunder. It's like
Yeah.
it's like how do we put? It's like, do we just put lightning on it?
Just
Like,
it
how do we
captions,
put-
it captions just says bang or
Yeah,
boom.
just boom.
But
Surprised they haven't done something like that.
yeah, really though. The other one I was gonna say too, like out of all logos as well, there's a few others you can go with, but the California Golden Seals or the California Seals back in the day.
Let's take a look at
Pretty
this.
pretty gross logo, especially the California Seals from like the 67-68 team. I don't know what the hell it's supposed to be.
The
I'm assuming it's supposed to be
Seals. Oh, what the hell is that? You know what it
love
looks
it.
like? It looks like
It's a
some.
golden seal.
That is. It
Doesn't
looks
even
like a
look like a
brand
seal.
name of like a fishing lure.
Yeah.
That is a strange logo.
Oh, wait, it's a seal with a hockey stick.
Yeah.
Interesting.
See, any
Artistic.
logo that you have to squint. No, actually, because then again, no. If you squint and recognize a detail, that's also a plus.
That's not a detail though. That's
Yeah,
just
that's-
abstract that you're not sure what it is.
Yeah, it's trying to figure it out. That's a good one. I like that. Is that your true nasty for the?
That's my true nasty. Yeah.
All right, Tyrell. What is your true nasty for the hockey?
I was just gonna pick on Arizona again, honestly, but you guys got me all beat. But Arizona's is pretty bad.
So let's see. We got the Coyotes one. There's a couple.
The older one, the one where it's like a
they're
the most
current,
recent.
Their current one.
I was gonna say
just
the same
a barking
thing,
dog.
because like the old one is excellent, and then the new one is just like meh.
Yeah,
the old one was like native.
Yeah, I don't remember that one being. So not. Oh.
It was like native art, and I remember that one looking cool. Like I thought that jersey was super cool back in the day, but you're totally right about the newer one. I'm like, ugh. Yeah, it's like the T-Wolves. Like, logo looks stupid. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, no, I feel like they could definitely do Arizona could do a lot more with the team called the Coyotes. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they played on that older looking logo, even if it is a bit wackier.
That's the thing, actually. That is so they're going back to it more and more now because they realize that's the favorite.
Nice.
Like they have a third jersey like that old style with like the full one holding the hockey stick and everything, and then they have a retro one with just the head and stuff like that. And they're pretty out there, but they go off well.
Right.
I mean, these ones, the current ones are kind of come off pretty bland in my opinion.
Yeah, I like the what do you even call them there on the old jerseys, like the border of it.
The border's sick. Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna keep it contemporary, like Tyrell. My nasty, just straight up Vancouver Canucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which one?
The new one or the old one?
Let's take a look. I'm pretty because I'm not aware of too much of a drastic change here. Vancouver Canucks.
It's drastic.
There's two.
Which one is it?
Let's take a look. It's the sea and the shark, right?
Or the whale.
The whale.
The whale, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Look at their old like '90s one though.
You talking about the flying V?
No. Well, that's bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you talking about this orange one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a brownish caramel type of color.
Oh, and now I know the old logo. It's the skate that you guys are talking about, right? Which is also like. Oh no! It's the stick. It's the hockey stick.
Yeah,
there's the hockey stick
like
one. Yeah,
blue and green.
Yeah, that one's pretty lame.
I gotta say that the sea and the whale is just it's too stupid for me.
So, Alex,
I know it's kind of classic right now. So go ahead, Josh.
Just to play into your fandom, I'm surprised you didn't go with the St. Louis Blues, the blue trumpet
worst?
logo. No, the blue trumpet logo. There's a particular one. If you search it up right now.
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
It's hilarious. Going back to the 90s where they were doing these gradient schemes, like the same as the
No, but
LA
you know
Kings
what's funny, dude? I really like that.
Yeah?
Yes, and I know people hate that jersey, but I like it. I don't know why, but I do. It's really stupid mix of colors, but for whatever reason, I like it.
I can respect that. I love, like, I look at the jersey and I just find it so funny.
You know what it is? I think me and Mitch talked about it before. Logos that are circles that circle elements.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, geez, no.
Oh God,
what is that? No, it's okay. It wasn't that.
That's atrocious.
I'm just talking about the circle patch with the horn on it.
You're talking about this guy.
Yes, I think that's
excellent.
Lovely.
That
one's excellent. I was talking about the particular jersey. I find it so funny.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Same thing. 90s gradient. I think they wore it like 1 year, and everyone's like, "That's terrible."
It's just trumpets exploding out of the bottom of the jersey.
Yeah, it's truly awful. Let's go over to the nice now. So, Fred, who gets your nice reward? Now, you can play it two ways. You can just go with your team, which
I'm not.
Makes sense.
I'm not. I'm actually not going to go with my team at all.
Or just play from the field.
So I think the best jersey in the NHL is actually an original 6 jersey.
I know where you're going with this.
It's based off the emblem, but it's like the full package. And I think Chicago, the Blackhawks, have the best jersey
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah,
like, oh
it's
my
true.
God. Everything about it is fantastic.
And they're smart. They've never changed it because it's just excellent.
The colors just flow and pop together so well.
So well.
Logo,
I gotta say,
it's
I
just
think
so good.
that's one of the best jerseys / emblems in sports. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all players look good in that kit.
It's so true. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Colorado traded Nikita Zadorov for Brennan Saad this year, and I was watching the Zadorov in it, and I was like, man, there's just something about Zadorov in that uniform that looks right. He just looks good in it, and I think it just that kit just makes everyone look good.
Are you talking about? Is it like the jerseys that you're talking about? Are they the primarily black ones or primarily red ones?
The red.
The red.
Yeah, the black does work well too, but the classic
red
reds
ones.
with the logo, with the Blackhawk head logo.
Yeah,
super nice.
And don't they have the hammers on the shoulders, like the stone hammers?
The tomahawks. The tomahawks.
Yeah,
they have a nice secondary logo as well.
Yeah.
No,
that's a good one. Very good.
That one's excellent.
It's just all around, just a great jersey, and they haven't altered from it very much. Maybe a color tone change, but other than that, like everything has been.
Yeah, keep it true.
Yeah, that's a winner for sure.
Yeah, it's such a solid. And imagine, like, people have been fighting for them to get rid of it too, with everything changing, with other teams' names and stuff.
Thank God, though. They defended it, and the reason I think they got the high ground on this, and the reason they can't change it is, like oppose and say like the Indians or the Washington Redskins stuff. The Blackhawks is actually a specific person. It's not like a tribe or anything like that. And it's actually a reference to someone who had some I don't know if it's Chicago.
It's a war leader. It's a war leader in Illinois. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like it was localized to the area.
Yeah.
So it was specific.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, now that's awesome. It's a team literally created to in a sense celebrate a character. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's not derogatory. Like you look at the Redskins and you'd be like, that's kind of derogatory. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, or the Cleveland Indians, same thing.
Yeah.
It's derogatory. It's exploited. Like
the logo is not like a caricature of an
Yeah.
Indian or something like that. Like the Cleveland.
The logo
Indians
looks stoic. It looks powerful. It's kind of like
lovely,
it's
man.
it's wicked logo.
Great choice.
So.
Great choice, Josh. Who's your nice? Who's your nice in hockey?
Right, I have one right off the bat. I'm ready for this, and I wish the team would just go back to this one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Kings again, but it's the purple yellow jersey.
No, it isn't. It isn't. But right before it, I just wanted to give a shout out to a couple of more just terrible ones.
Oh sure, yep.
I just want to rip a few new ones.
Yeah, this one is one of my favorites because we were talking about how shitty Buffalo is, so I wanted to show off the Buffa Slug.
Classic.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
The Buffa Slug.
Buffa Slug.
Go Buffa Slug. And then
Go banana.
Go banana.
Go Buffa Slug. And then this one is just for me because I'm a Leafs fan. But I still think these were terrible, especially when they decided to play at a Winter Classic on a white sheet of ice with a white backdrop. They wore the sailor ready, eye ready, white ass fucking jersey get up.
Oh, I remember those too. Yeah, I remember those.
So bad, man. You couldn't see the players on the ice.
No, I mean, I could see where they were going with that because they are slick. But visually, like what it's like, oh yeah, we play on a white backdrop.
Yeah,
where it's likely going to snow outside.
It's one of those ones where as soon as they hit the ice, the person that designed just looks like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's like as long as they look good in the promo shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, but for my good one, and I miss these jerseys. They're so beautiful and they're so simple. But and the logo. And they've played with them a little bit this year, which is excellent, but Hartford Whalers, buddy.
Oh yeah,
go Whale.
That's a good one.
Man, I love the green.
It's a nice emerald green, for sure.
Is it because you're wearing your green Patty's one right now? You're right into the green and white. Is this what's going on?
St. Pat's, buddy.
Yeah. Josh repping jerseys at all the pods so far, I think.
The only shitty thing about these ones is the number patches are terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, shut up, bitch. The number patches are so fucking weird. Like, look at the number patch.
Oh yeah, it's got a
A
real
fraction.
Yeah.
Three
It looks like a fraction because it's
3
two
over
large
4?
patches.
3/4.
Yeah. 3/4.
3/4.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a solid jersey.
Solid-
That is
yeah,
a solid
solid
jersey.
choice.
That guy, man.
I
Yeah, those
prefer
are
the
nice, too.
white. I like the white one. That's nice.
Mitch, what is
Go
your choice?
Whale.
What is your choice for the nice of the of hockey?
So
Mostly
like
NHL.
mine, like my top one, like Fred, is the Blackhawks.
Nice.
But my other one, and this might be a bit of a kind of
I like the
a
variety
90s
here.
a '90s kid in me, but the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one.
That logo and this
Oh,
like
good.
jersey colors, I loved it. Like the purple and stuff, loved it.
Yeah, their
Also
color
just-
scheme was incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just being
I-
a kid too, and that in the movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And the cartoon.
That's a
Yeah,
great
it-
one.
Yeah.
Good pick for sure. I remember having a Mighty Ducks sleeping bag. Like that's one of those
Oh,
things. That's one of those
Yeah.
like brands that was just kind of plastered over everything. Like
Yeah.
whatever reason, I always remember Michael Jordan and the Bulls on Valentine's. Like those little cutout Valentines that you get for school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Just like those little branding things that you see that really stand out. I do remember Mighty Ducks being plastered on a lot of different things, like jackets and shirts and stuff like that as a kid.
Yeah.
I think the current logo can go on a nasty list for sure.
The
Oh,
D
yeah.
Duckfoot.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of it.
that's true. That's a good point. Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one for nasty. Tyrell, you got one for nice?
I do, and like I don't know, I haven't really followed hockey since the Sakic days in Colorado, so it's been a few years. But Philadelphia, I don't know why their colors are like the orange is in your face, but the logo,
Very prominent,
man.
just like they are. Like very like
Yeah.
in your face.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Tyrell. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me that's like when I think of NHL, that's the first logo I think of.
The
For some reason. I
Flyers.
don't know why.
No,
You
it's-
think of the bullies, man. The old bullies.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
what-
even like in our time growing up, like the '90s, you're thinking like Lindros. Like they were
Yeah.
a wicked
Mm.
team. They
When I
were a
think-
wicked team.
when I think of like the sport hockey, or if I'm like if I was an outsider and I was thinking the sport hockey and tough, I would think Philadelphia Flyers, and I would think that logo, especially like the orange, the Jeremy Roenick days or the Eric Lindros
Yeah.
days, and that's kind of like that. To me, that was a team that did personify hockey as
Yeah.
a hockey.
I remember
overall.
like I referenced like collecting hockey cards as a kid, and I remember that Flyers logo always being in your face for that era for sure. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
My nice is I was going to now this is just complete honesty here, but it's the Homer pick. I was going to go with that, but I was like, nope, I can't do it because it'll ruin the segment. But I do think the Blues logo, current logo, is super sexy. Always
It
has.
is. That was like one of my tops for sure. Like the old quarter note, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful,
With
man.
the little tail.
Yeah.
But I can't do it just because of the Homer pick. But I'm actually going to go with the Minnesota Wild.
Wild, yes, man.
Oh,
You
this
bet
is a good
you
one,
feel
and I was
like
actually
that. I
thinking
actually
about picking
love
this
that
one.
that logo.
Yeah.
See, I
Oh.
think who was it? It was either you, Josh, or Mitch.
We
It's Josh.
talked about it.
Who
Yeah.
we
I like
looked
this
at the
logo.
logo one day and we're like, "That's a bear."
I broke it to you guys. I broke it to you guys when I mentioned something about a bear, and you guys stopped. Like, what do you mean? I was like, it's a bear. Like, that line's a bear. And you're like, oh my god!
Yeah, because for years, I guess we both, and it's funny because Josh has obviously watched a lot more hockey than me.
Yeah.
But like I've had so many cards of that logo as well, and like it's so funny. It's like I just thought it was a horizon, over a forest.
Just like a wild
Yeah.
landscape.
A little river there flowing.
But
Yeah.
when Mitch broke that bomb on us, you were like, "Oh my god!"
It's funny though. You guys weren't the first I've heard that same
Yeah.
thing happen to, and that happened to me around the same time with the old Vancouver skate logo. I
Right.
thought it was just like artistic, and there's something like it's a skate. I'm like, what do you mean it's a skate? And I looked, I'm like, oh man, this is a different jersey altogether.
It's so funny how that is, eh?
And yeah, I never knew that until much later. And you guys were talking about their kits a lot too, like for the different teams that you guys brought up. Whatever it is, I love that Christmas red and green color scheme. I think it's so nice looking. I love it. Like
you wouldn't think it would work out so well, eh? But it
no,
really
and
does.
it does with Minnesota. Yeah,
the Devils have like a similar
the
kind
green
of color.
reds. Yeah,
yes. I love that. I love it so much.
Some people hate it too, which is funny.
Yeah, the '90s Devils, man. When they had that.
Cute. Now I'm a bit impartial because I'm a Colorado fan, so I'm not a huge Minnesota fan.
Right.
But a big thing too is with Minnesota is I think they need to get. Minnesota does not have a reputation, like a real good reputation as a good hockey team. They've never really won or done anything, so they don't. When you see their colors or their logo, you don't really go, "Oh yeah, it's sick," kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
They've never been an exciting hockey team, so they're starting to now with
They're pretty good right now, man.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
But I think they're one of those things that they need a reputation and a run behind them to really put some emphasis on their insignia, on their colors. Because I mean, right now I think of Minnesota Wild, and I think boring hockey kind of deal. You know what I mean?
It's true, man. For the longest time, they played like boring trap hockey.
Yeah,
like shut down. Like it was all defense. It's like 1-0, 2-1 games.
Like when you say you say Minnesota Wild, and usually when you say a team name, you think of a legendary player. I was like, oh, this player reminds me of this name. You say Minnesota Wilds, you're like,
Mikko Koivu? I guess.
It's two come to mind for me. Marian Gaborik.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then the other one is Zach Parise past his prime.
Yes.
Man, you could at least pick Koivu.
Yeah.
But like I said, Koivu was never an exciting player. Koivu was just an effective
great defensive player.
Yeah. And Marian Gaborik was super explosive and exciting, but he wasn't consistent, and I don't even know where Gaborik is now. Is he still in the league?
No. He's done, I think.
Who knows?
Did you say he died?
Was he on the Kings? Was he on the Kings?
No, he's done.
I think he died. I was like, oh my God.
I think he may have actually I think he actually may have won a cup with the Kings.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think you're right.
Because he was
okay.
He won a deadline pickup, and he was good.
Yeah, you're
he
right.
Won a cup, yeah.
All right. Well, I like that as the first installment of,
of that.
Nasty and nice.
We'll have to do a CFL one, and we all only get to pick one logo because there's only enough teams for each of us.
Actually, that'd be hilarious.
We're coming up now. We can cross it over with the XFL. So
that's
nice.
I was good. Okay, so nice. I want just please just humor me for a second. Has anyone seen that video? I forgot to post it on the notes. Has anyone seen that video of Johnny Manziel just totally missing? Like the throwback.
I was looking for this
snap
because you did put it in the notes of the fan controlled football.
And they snap it back and it goes right over his head, and he kind of just lollygags, wobbles back to get it, and then just doesn't touch it, and then the opposing team picks it up. It's the most laziest effort, man, I've ever seen.
Maybe that was the play the fans drew up. You don't know.
Maybe it was. Yeah, they voted for it. The Twitch groups, they said the people have spoken.
Don't touch the ball.
Don't touch the ball. Don't touch the ball.
So
he's like error.
Hey, just screw this play up. That opens up the potential for so much trolling. That league. Mm-hmm. My God. Let's see. Is there anything else we need to get to? Let's just very quickly. The last priority issue we have to get around right now. The last news piece is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua sign a 2-fight deal. That's humongous. Obviously, it's coming off of the whole rollout of the vaccine right now. People are more gaining confidence that we'll be around full crowds more often. And for those unfamiliar, when British boxers fight, when high caliber, big celebrity British boxers fight, it's an event. It's a colossal event. If you've seen a packed soccer/football stadium in the UK, you hear the chanting, you hear everyone is piss loaded. It's a spectacle. And this is why the fight hasn't happened yet. It would have happened a lot sooner. It's just they wanted people in that crowd because the amount of money that those fights are going to make is obscene.
Oh, yeah. These are two huge, great fighters, too. But not only that, these are two fighters with celebrity status.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's a double whammy for boxing.
And isn't it wild, too? Because, it wasn't like this years ago. It's even somewhat celebrity status over here. in North America and in Canada.
Yeah.
People know who Tyson Fury is now, and Anthony
Yeah.
Joshua, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild, because when the Klitschko's dominated, everyone's like, what the hell? Boxing? What is that? But with those
that was
guys,
like the trap hockey era of boxing.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I'm excited. I'm super excited for, I think, as a lot of people would think, Fury has the edge over both fights. He's getting older, sure. Anthony Joshua is incredibly athletic, but he's been known to have holes defensively, so we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it so much, and I can't wait.
Awesome.
It's going to be great. Let's get to the last segment of the show.
Hey, bro! Hey!
I like the pick and roll. I like the giving.
Answer the question. Freak out, yo!
This week on the pick and roll, we got a couple topics left over. One of the ones I actually found kind of funny, and I actually might even pick this one up, is the Jason Tatum, Matthew Tkachuk little video. Did you guys see that I put in the group?
I didn't watch it. No, I should have. Damn.
I'm looking at it right now.
It's worth a look. I think it's only like 20 seconds. Anyways,
I seen it a while ago. I seen it. I don't know when it first kind of made its rounds the first time around. But
right.
Yeah.
It's Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics and Matthew Tkachuk of the Flames.
Hi, my name's...
Yeah.
Anyways, they're like little high school kids, and I don't even know. I think it's a school project, and they're talking back and forth, and it's like, "Hi, I'm Jason Tatum. I love going to this school. These are my friends. One of the best parts about being in this school is the education." It's just like a really
That's
lame,
amazing.
It's just one of those class projects that everyone kind of look at like, yeah, I did something pretty much cookie cutter that in high school.
Oh man, we all have.
And then they both became like
superstars,
amazing athletes.
Much. Yeah, and it's
so
fun
in separate sports. Yeah,
that's the coolest part about it.
And
it's
I was saying before the
players.
show, like, it's just such a wholesome little video.
It is.
They're not doing anything destructive or douchey. They're just making it.
Doing jumping jacks in the background.
Just, little class project. I thought that was so wholesome. I loved it. The NFL, Drew Brees, Aaron Jones, Taysom Hill.
Yeah, and so right now, like
Taysom,
the NFL just in general, Taysom Hill. In general, well, the first one is finally. Not that it's a bad thing, but Drew Brees is finally retired from the NFL.
Yeah.
He's been dialing it back 1 year at a time for the last couple of years, pushing. And that's why I kind of made note of Taysom Hill, because it seems they've signed him in, and Taysom Hill performed admirably in his stead for the New Orleans Saints, right? Taysom Hill, which is what's more cool about Taysom Hill in the past year, is that he was playing pretty much every position. Yeah. You never see that in the NFL.
No.
Like, they were playing him at snaps at wide receiver. They were playing him at back. They were playing him as the quarterback.
If anyone,
he was playing
Lamar
really
Jackson could probably do that, but it's like, who else?
But even Lamar Jackson wasn't like, you never lined him up at the line for a receiver and he's running to catch a ball, right?
Right.
So that's cool. But this is pretty much free agency time, right, for the NFL.
Yeah.
So there's I know my phone hasn't stopped going off today, like free agency news for the NFL.
Yeah,
constant. Like, I know, like,
what are you, an
Fred,
insider?
like, well, no, just the news updates, right? Personally, I'm happy that Aaron Jones is going to be back with Green Bay. Like, we're ready for another year. That's good. We got the running back team. But, like, Fred, like, even the Bills are making big signings and whatnot, like Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, it's
like another a veteran wide receiver. Like it's pretty cool, man.
I did notice
I'm
that
already getting amped for the next football season.
I did notice the Texans were making some moves that people were pleased about, but I've said this on, I think, the very first podcast. They're in a very poor place in my mind right now, so I'm kind of I'm away from the Texans. They're
still standing on the hill that
Deshaun Watson's not gone yet.
Deshaun's gonna play, or at least they're keeping him for the time being.
Yeah. I think last up on the pick and roll we have Bradley Beal says that Westbrook is the best teammate he has ever had. Now,
John Wall's punching air.
See, any NBA person or the sports person in general just looks at that article and just one thing just goes through their mind immediately. It's like, dude, you played with John Wall for like 10 years.
I love with the NBA, it's so much more fun because the teams are smaller, right?
Yeah.
And you usually get 2 stars. Like little comments like that are so much more funnier because it has so much more potential.
And people make it into something huge.
Yeah, you could look back to this. You played with this person. Like you played with this star before.
Kyrie said something similar. He said something similar, like KD was the best teammate he's ever had, or something like that. It's like
the guy won he won a championship with LeBron. Yeah. He won a couple.
Anyways, that's I didn't expect it from Beal, but you know what? I'm not gonna say that I'm completely surprised that he prefers to play with Westbrook, just because I know John Wall can come off as a bit moody. Anyways, that's that.
Yeah, and it honestly might just be a teammate personal thing. He probably gets along better with Westbrook than he did Wall.
Yeah, and everyone gets along with Westbrook from it's Westbrook's one of those guys, when he switches teams, he cuts ties on, he'll maintain friends with some of his guys from former teams, but he'll be like, nah, this is where my loyalty is right now. 100% right now, I'm here. So that's why Westbrook is respected. That's one of the reasons why he's respected anyways.
Right.
Yeah, I think that just about does it for the pick and roll topics this week. And that does it for the podcast for this week as well. So it's been another absolute banger. This one went really well.
We did it again.
Love it.
Loved it. Next week we will have a stinger for Nasty and Nice. So look out for that. We're gonna have a crack that pack video from Mitch. He's gonna crack another box of, what is it, Mitch? Between the Pipes? Is that what
it's In the Game as a brand, so like Upper Deck, this one's In the Game. They're no longer producing anymore, I'm pretty sure. But Between the Pipes, so it's an 0708 Between the Pipes. It's an all goalie product.
Sweet.
Nice.
Look out for that on the YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at The Jersey Tuck. Listen to us on Spotify. And as always, thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Ovechkin just passed Esposito.
Bye-bye.